Tonight on BBC One, at 8:30, things are going missing in the new series of Airport.
You haven't seen the Irish Olympic team in your travels, have you?
It's not there.
You haven't seen the Irish Olympic team? Anyone wearing shamrocks, have you?
No.
We can't leave him here behind us.
Well, we haven't really got any alternative if he hasn't got his passport.
And in Holby City at 9,
Help him!
Julie's on the verge of losing it all.
Have you got any idea what you've done? You've made me and my 4-year-old daughter homeless.
Tonight on BBC One.
We've actually made it to the 21st year of BBC's Children in Need appeal.
She's scary. And S Club 7 are doing this year's charity single.
It all kicks off at 7 with Ronan Keating, Jamie Oliver, Mel C and S Club 7.
At 8, a question of sport takes on a question of pop.
And the new one-off special of Butterflies at 9, with loads more throughout the night.
Pledge for Pudsey on 0845 733 2233.
Get ready to celebrate our 21st year.
And go Dotty for Children in Need.
Friday, November 17th on BBC One.
And Gabby Roslin and Dr. Mark Porter reveal just how far they'll go to raise money for children in need in the new Radio Times, which also has listings for all major television channels. This is BBC One with a brand new series of This Is Your Life.
As the world knows, a golden Olympic Games for Britain in 2000. Gold on the water, gold in the ring, on the range, on the track, and on wheels. The triumphs in Sydney set the nation's spirit soaring as British Olympians achieved their most breathtaking performance for 80 years. Excitement peaked as millions of us stayed up for half the night to watch oarsman Steve Redgrave win his 5th gold medal and become the greatest British Olympian of all time. And he's in on our secret tonight as we tell the story of another fine sportsman. Isn't that right, Steve?
Yes, Michael. He's a real powerhouse, been at the top of his field for over a decade, a real outstanding champion, and a really nice guy as well.
Well said, Steve. We'll see you later. Well, water is the clue, particularly the River Thames. We're on our way to the London Aquarium, where the British Olympic Association is having a celebration. The man I'm after has 3 Olympic gold medals and 7 world championships to his name, and like the mighty Steve Redgrave, he does it backwards, sitting down. As a schoolboy, he sang with the Eton College Choir, but now he is quite literally one of the giants of his sport. Now he's just through here where a party is going on. I think the training is finished for the moment. The speeches are nearly over, so it's on your marks, get set.
Being involved in the Olympic Games.
Please excuse me putting my oar in, but I have been sent here on very good authority to say that tonight, Matthew Pinsent, this is your life. As you've seen, the banks are full of supporters for you tonight. Your father and your mother, Ewan and Jean, your sister, Kathy, host of the BBC's coverage in Sydney, Steve Ryder, your coach, Jürgen Grubler, team doctor, Anne Redgrave, modern pentathlon gold medalist, Stephanie Cook, and members of the first British rowing eight since 1912 to win Olympic gold, Luca Gruber, Louis Attrell, Kieran West, Fred Scarlett, Simon Dennis, and Ben Hunt Davis. to complete the crew, the girl you met while you were coaching at Oxford University, Dimitra Koutsoukas. Now, Dee, you watched your hero in Sydney, but you first met on the towpath at Oxford.
We did. I rowed for Oxford a few years ago, and Matthew did some part-time coaching for us. And I remember the first time he came to one of our training sessions, a lot of my teammates were pretty excited, saying, "Oh, Matthew Pinsent is coaching us today." And being Canadian myself, I didn't really know what all the fuss was about. I kept thinking, well, who is this guy? And what's all the fuss? And now I know. And I have to admit, the first time we met, that first training session, I wasn't really happy with him. He spent the whole outing criticizing my rowing. And now I'd like to think that he was just trying to get my attention. Okay.
I was criticising your rowing.
I'll leave that bit to you then. But we started dating after the boat race, and we've been together since. And I knew it was getting somewhat serious when about 3 months after we started dating, he sort of secretively said, "Well, why don't you meet me at the Angel Tube Station?" Didn't really say what was going on, and so I did. And I got there, and he whisked me away into this motorcycle shop and bought me a helmet and some leather gloves and told me I could be his biker chick.
Well, Matthew Pinsent, this is your life, and you've been collecting trophies since you first took to the Thames as an Eton schoolboy. Your first significant honour came 12 years ago when you won gold at the Junior World Championships. You've been winning medals at either the Olympics or the World Championships every year since, and here are a few high watermarks.
Go! If you're on your own, on the slide, days and nights are long. When you think you've had too much,
I'm very hungover indeed.
the slide to hang on. So hold on, hold on, hold
Hold on, boys. The Italians are coming strong. We're up to the line. It's 50 metres. Can we hold it? Watch out for Italy. Great Britain on the line. Here we go. Just Great Britain get the gold medal.
Well, the other members of that victorious quartet are here, of course. James Cracknell, Tim Foster, and Steve Redgrave. Now, you were a tight crew, Steve. Matthew has always been a key man in your career.
Definitely, since 1990 when we got together as a pair, then later in the fort. He's just been outstanding on the water. But more than that, he's been a personal friend, and the things that I've achieved, that I'm very honoured that I've been part of Matthew, part of that as well. And my wife as well wanted Matthew to be the godfather to our first child, to Natalie.
Excellent. Well, Matthew Clyde Pinsent, back to the beginning. You were born at Holt in Norfolk on October the 10th, 1970. Yes. Your father, Ewan, had been in the Navy and worked for the colonial service in Africa. But when you arrived, the youngest of 4 children, he was a curate at St Andrew's Church in Holt. Now, Jean, Matthew was a bonny baby.
Yes, he was. He was a big one, too. He was 10 pounds when he was born, and bald as a coot. But he was always a very happy baby.
Well, we have rated the family album to show that happiness is a child called Matthew.
Oh, dear.
every breath you take, every bond you break, every step you take, I'll be watching you.
Now, Kathy, you remember some artistic moments when Matthew was a boy.
I do, yes. I've got distinct memories of Matthew when he was little. He had a very fond spot for the music of Coppelia. And one of the things that he used to do when he was little is dance around the sitting room to the music and use a knitting needle as a conducting stick. And in fact, I was in his house the other day and I noticed that he's still got a CD of Coppelia. But I hope he doesn't do any more dancing around the sitting room to it.
in the car,
Well, there's no doubt you had an idyllic childhood. Sadly, your brother Thomas died of leukemia when he was 19 and you were just 14. Thomas's twin, your sister Emma, is now working with a missionary organisation, and you and Emma and her family are a fair distance away.
They are indeed, yes. They're in outer Mongolia, and we could only really get in touch with them through letters. There's certainly no email at the moment, and the telephone, well, you sometimes are able to queue up and wait 2 hours, then to be told at Ulaanbaatar, the capital, that there's no connection to England. So we feel quite a long way from them at this time.
Well, it was a tough one even for us, but I'm relieved to say that eventually we tracked Emma down and we bring you these greetings from the edge of the Gobi Desert.
How did you do that?
Hello Matt, what fantastic news. We're all so thrilled and delighted to hear about your 3rd gold medal. We're all very proud of you. You may be wondering how we got to hear about your race, since we don't have any email, we don't have any TV or radio here. Well, Magnus and I went up on the overnight train up to Ulaanbaatar, and as soon as we got there we were glued to the television to watch your race. And just before your race came on, the BBC went off air. So after some frantic channel swapping, we found it on a German TV station. And it was a great race, and we all really enjoyed watching it. There was many of us there cheering you on. And we were sorry we couldn't be there in Sydney to be there at the race, but at least we can be there tonight and to wish you well, and I hope you have a very special evening, and it's a great night.
Hi Matthew. Who would have thought that 10 years ago I would be here in the middle of the Gobi Desert in front of a toilet building that had been built by you? And certainly in this room we'll never forget who has won 3 gold medals. Incredible. What an achievement. Congratulations to all the team, and especially big congratulations to you on getting your 3rd gold medal.
Well done for getting the gold medal, Matthew. Please come to Ascension. I want to see the gold medal. Well done, Uncle Matthew.
Well, when you were 2 years old, the family moved from Norfolk to Kelso in Scotland, and 3 years later, you started Edenside Primary School. Then in 1978, you become a boarder at Aysgarth School in North Yorkshire.
And we remember you as a rosy, round-faced, cherubic choir boy.
Your headmaster at Aysgarth, Simon Reynolds, and your housemaster, Stuart Tate. Stuart, you brought some pictures of innocence, I think.
Oh, no, you haven't.
Yes, I brought along a photograph of you looking appropriately.
Oh, it is embarrassing.
With the school choir.
Didn't want to be there, did I, really?
Simon, Matthew became a TV star at school.
Well, I don't know whether we were a star then exactly, but do you remember?
Of course.
The filming of Forgive Our Foolish Ways.
That's right.
With Kate Nelligan.
That's right.
That rather luscious lady.
She kissed me goodbye on this cheek. I still haven't washed it.
Well, I can remember you practicing the theme of that series, Dear Lord and Father of Mankind.
Yeah.
Remember that? Which then became the most popular hymn tune, I think, in the whole country. It was a marvellous occasion for all of us.
Well, we have a clip from Forgive Our Foolish Ways. You might just about spot Matthew in his non-speaking role on the right of the screen as Kate Nelligan takes a music class.
And who did I say it was by again, Matthew? Rossini. And what's it called?
Le Petit Mas Sommeil.
very moody performance. Thank you very much, Simon and Stuart. In 1983, when you're 13, you head south and become a pupil at Eton. Your first housemaster there was John Toomer. John, at first you didn't think that Matthew would make a sportsman.
Well, I noticed that Matthew had very large feet. I think they were probably size 12. And I thought I thought he wouldn't be an athlete. I was proved very wrong. And in the 4 years that he's with me, he was known as the gentle giant. You remember Matthew? And he certainly was. And what I would like to say is how he helped others. And we're all very proud of you, Matthew. Well done.
Thanks.
Well, as the world knows, you try your hand at rowing, and in the school lingo, you become a wet bob in the under-15B crew, and that meant hours of training.
And the first time you tried out our rowing machine, I knew you were going to be a champion.
As well.
Your coach at Eton, Paul Wright. So, Paul, tell us what happened.
Well, when he was about 16, we took him off for his first junior test on these dreaded rowing machines. We were amazed because the machine started bouncing all over the floor. And I remember we had to hold the thing down, which told us a couple of things, really. One, that it was generating a great deal of power. But secondly, we needed to control that power. And
still struggling.
Still struggling, yes. I think the potential has now been realised. Well done, Matthew. Excellent.
Thanks.
And it was certainly a promising start. Thank you, Paul. With three school friends, you become known as the Heavy Four. All of you go on to become international oarsmen, and the other heavies, as you've seen, are behind you, as they so often were. Matthew Gordon Clark, Kit Lewis and Stephen Fowler. In 1987, the husky young sports star puts on a hairnet and white overalls to take a summer job at a cake factory in Midhurst in Sussex.
Yes.
And we've gathered some of your friends from the cake production line for this little confection.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree?
I suppose you remember this, Matthew. It's the place where you worked on the cutter, slicing up the cake. We all remember you as a genuine guy who enjoyed his work, and he ate a lot of it too.
You're a big hit with us girls on the production line, but I don't know how you've done it with growing one of these hairnets.
You're a very keen worker, apart from Thursday nights, when we asked you to work overtime. You're obviously out training. It paid off though. We're all proud of you.
Most of us stayed up late to watch your big win on television. And on the following Monday, all your friends were walking just that little bit taller. Have a great night, Matthew. And to help you celebrate, we're sending my own special Olympic gold medal. But you don't wear it, you eat it. All I love, Matt, and here's to the 4th gold in Athens.
They always said that I worked very hard, but there were times when I used to be in charge, not just of cutting the cake, but on doing the rubbish. And there were days after I'd been training the night before when I was really tired, and so I would take a load of cardboard out to the skip and chuck it in, and then climb in it and in after it, and have 40 winks of sleep in the pit.
Do you know, I think they knew that.
They probably did.
And you can cut that birthday cake later on.
I will do.
It was in 1988, coached by Paul Wright, that you win your first major honour, gold at the Junior World Championships. Your partner was Tim Foster. Here's a home movie of how you won that race in Milan. Tim, that was a close finish.
It was, and I just about remember the finish, and the next thing I remember was Matthew bringing me back to consciousness afterwards, so it seemed like a long time ago, and it's funny that 12 years later we were enjoying another close finish.
Fair enough. Now, at the age of 18, you go up to St Catherine's College, Oxford. Your subject, geography. You're out on the river from day one, and you win your blue as part of the Oxford crew that beat Cambridge in the boat race of 1990.
And we come to the finish of the 1990 boat race.
One of George Bush's advisors on this crisis. Republicans are accusing the Democrats of sour grapes.